Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we're live.
Good morning. Welcome to Comedy Time with Mr. Suter and Mrs. Smith.
What you can't see in the back end is the ton of technical difficulties we've had in the last 10 minutes trying to get to this point. So if we look flustered, yeah, maybe we are.
We almost weren't here. Let's just put it that way.
So,
well, Mr. Suter wasn't anyway.
Good morning. Hey, look, Rosa, Hallie, Nolan, Grace, Deanna. Those names all sound familiar to me.
No, all I see right now are Maddie and Kenzie.
Keeney. Annalise, Dominic, Libby. It was Libby's birthday yesterday.
Oh, we're gonna say happy birthday?
We already did. We did it yesterday.
Oh, no monkeys today.
It's turned into in class, it's turned into a high school musical event where you turn that on and everybody gets up and dances with it and sings along. It's really great.
It's funny. Like Grace just said that my hair looks pretty today or great today. Appreciate that. I'm actually thinking about for Minithon doing something with the amount that I can get donated, cutting that many inches off. And I know.
Nice. Don't do it. No, that's really good of you. Arizona and Daniel. I said Daniel. Daniel. I'm trying to write and type.
It's really easy Arizona? To write mine down. I don't even have to write them down. I can remember. Oh, look, Kenzie's here. Oh, look, Maddie's here. Oh, look, Anthony's here. That's it. Go ahead, gloat. I know you want to.
Well, I'm trying to write them down. I'm trying to keep a list. I just would like to. I don't know that we're doing bonus points. We can't do that. Some people have 30 bonus points. But Alex,
I think my students are tired of seeing me only on the screen, and so they refuse to join on Friday.
Right. That's it. Grace, Dominic. Oh, I'm sorry to stall, Mrs. Smith, but so many of my kids have come that it's going to take me a while to write them all down. Oh, I almost wrote Mackenzie down. And Elise. I hope they never see how I spell their names when I'm writing them down quick. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's terrible. Hey, we have stuff today. We're gonna have a game day. We've checked it. It looks like it's working. So I'm really thinking it could be a game.
Yeah, I have it pulled up already with the game code. It's there. So and it's funny. I don't even see Andrew or Ricardo. So who's gonna win this week? From they're not there. Lauren's not here. I'm not trying to whatever, but
call them out. I have 13 written down.
We only have 16 today.
Well, now I just wrote Elijah just popped in, so I'm going to write Mr. Bobbitt down as well. Anybody see his wonderful performance in the latest Hawkhouse video? He's asked a couple questions and he's great on camera. Just going to throw it out there. Yes, Hallie says she thinks Mr. Shooter outnumbered you. I think we did. All right,
sure.
Let's do it. Let's talk. Let's talk homeostasis for the last time. Because after this week, Mrs. Smith, don't you think we'll be talking DNA?
Maybe that's why my students aren't here. Because they've already finished homeostasis. And we sent out that thing saying it was about homeostasis. So.
Guys, when you come to class on Monday, I have an aloe plant in the back if you need some for that burn she just put on you, because that was pretty harsh. That was pretty harsh. Mrs. Smith just burned you. Burned you bad. All
right, let's go over homeostasis. Let's go over this doc. You know what, though? To my students that are here today, I will tell you this test that's coming up, because they're taking a test when I come back. And this worksheet that we're going to go over, this first diagram especially, is really helpful because we haven't specifically done something quite like this talking about homeostasis. So I feel like if you're here, you're getting an advantage for the exam. So good job.
Nice stall wise. Stare at the screen. There we go. How can I make that a little bit better? Is that a little bit better? All right. So this is kind of the final thing. If you think back through homeostasis, we've talked about hypertonic, hypotonic, isotonic. We've talked about cell membranes, phospholipid bilayers. We pointed out that the lipid is really important in that. We've related back to proteins and how we can get things across membranes. And we've talked about diffusion and osmosis and little old ladies in the mall that spray perfume and all kinds of things. This sheet, really, one of the reasons that it kind of came to being, like Mrs. Smith said, is the first question on the Keystone practice exam we have was killing a lot of people. A lot of people are missing it. And we wanted to give something to help you when you get to that. So that's the only hint we're going to give. Let's talk about it real quick. They give you a model here, movement of water in and out of the cell. And here's my advice to you. You will be taking, you have 2 weeks left until marking period 3 is over. And then you have 9 weeks in marking period 4, and you're taking the Keystone exam at the end of that. And so whenever you're presented with a question on the Keystone exam or anything like that, my advice is, like, before you read the question, if there's a picture involved or a graph or any kind of image, to know what it is before you read the question, to like study it, like to look at it and understand it. And if you do that, you'll find that the questions are so much easier than they are if you just jump into the question. All right. I see Ricardo and Sitlali jumped up. And M Pro. And I'm supposed to know who that is. Do you remember? I don't remember. You're going to have to tell me again. All right. So let's look at this picture. We have a picture of a cell. We see our semi-permeable membrane there. The way they've drawn it, they've tried to imply to you that that's a semi-permeable membrane. They show you pluses and they show you zeros, and they show you that the pluses are moving back and forth. And then,
here, Miguel. Sorry.
Right. Thank you. Thanks, Miguel. They show you the pluses are moving back and forth, but they show you that I guess I could get it from the pro, but not real smart. They show you the circles don't. So the circles stay inside the cell, the pluses move in and out. And then if we kind of look real carefully, one of the things I would do is just see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 out arrows, and I have 2 in arrows. So right away, before I even read anything, I know that the pluses are moving out more than they're moving in, and the circles don't move. Then I'd look at the key. And maybe I would have looked at the key before I even started looking at it, but I didn't. So the circles are sugar molecules, and the pluses are water molecules. And then we have that selectively permeable membrane. So right now I know I have a cell, selectively permeable membranes. I know the pluses are moving in and out, more are moving out, and the sugar molecules aren't moving. And just by a quick look at the cell, when I compare the number of circles to pluses on the outside and the number of circles to pluses on the inside, just visually without even counting, I feel like there's more circle to pluses, like the water's more sugary on the outside than it is on the inside. And that's what I know. Yeah,
even if they didn't have arrows, if I counted the number of pluses in the inside the cell compared to the pluses outside of the cell, I would draw arrows that were going towards the outside of the cell. Because the water, you know what I mean? It's going to go from where the water is a higher concentration to where it's a lower concentration.
So
and
now,
okay,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, does anybody know why the sugar molecules aren't moving?
Oh, good. Why is there no arrows on the sugar molecules? In the chat. Let's get some audience participation from the 22 students we have, of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 I have written down on my list right here, Mrs. Smith. Your kids probably are sick of seeing you on the Zoom.
Seriously, I'm sick of seeing me on a Zoom.
I'm sick of hearing you on a Zoom. I miss hearing you next door. All right. They can't go.
Why can't they go? Why?
Why? The membrane is simple.
Yes.
But why can't they go in and out? We're right. They can't go in and out. Membrane semi-permeable, but why? Be more specific. Partially. You need to know that word next unit when you talk about semi-conservative. They're too big. Yeah. Sometimes the simple answer is it. All right. So let me scroll this down a little bit. Question number 1 simply states the solution consists of solute and a solvent mixed together. For the solution of model 1, identify and provide the symbol for the solute and then the solvent. So what is dissolved? The sugar is dissolved. So we would have a circle there in the sugar, and we would have a can I do that? We'd have a circle here. No, it said freehand. We have a circle here and a plus here, right? So the solute, sugar, solvent is the water. And then consider the size of the sugar and water molecules. Which molecule in the diagram are able to move through the selectively permeable membrane? We've already talked about it because we took our time to look at the diagram before we started. Water can move through it, sugar can't. Great. Now you got to count number of sugar molecules inside the cell. So if we went up and we counted, we would count, if memory serves, we would count 6 sugar molecules and we would count 24 water molecules inside the cell. And if we did the same outside the cell, we would count 15 and 15. Hard to write with the mouse. Now, what's the ratio of water to sugar? So we got to put water first, and that would be 24:6. But you would reduce that, right? Divide both by 6, and we could say the ratio is 4. And we haven't talked a lot about ratios. And then over here, the ratio 15:15 would be 1:1. And that's important in the next couple of questions. I'm going to send it over to Mrs. Smith for the next couple of questions.
So it's asking and saying, which solution then is more concentrated? And if you were listening, again, when Mr. Suter kind of talked through the models, which we're doing to tell you what we do, if we were to grab a question, like when we're looking at stuff and going, oh, is this a good question to use? We always look at those diagrams first and make sure the diagrams make sense and gather information from that. So he kind of gave you this one already and said, which is more concentrated? And he said, oh, it looks like there's more sugar molecules outside. And if you go up and you look at that amount, again, that makes sense because outside of the cell, there are more sugar molecules, okay, than there are on the inside. Well, here's the thing, though, is that people get confused because then they get down to the ratio and they're like, but it says 4:1. But that's water over sugar. So there's actually, you know what I mean, less sugar per water molecule inside the cell. So it's more concentrated outside of the cell.
Yeah. If you have 4 water molecules, it looks like that. Right? 4:1. All right. Anyway.
Great.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. So number 5 says, consider the arrows indicating movement. In which direction are they moving? So we said that there's more water inside, less water outside. We're going to move from the inside to the outside. So more water molecules are moving out of the cell. So the net direction is out, but remember that some water molecules are still moving back in because water is constantly moving back and forth. We're just talking about the net. And so then when we get down to the next one, it's talking about the solution inside of the cell will become more or less concentrated with the water. So now it's saying, okay, so as water leaves the cell, what's going to happen? So if water's leaving, if you have Kool-Aid, okay, and you're able to take the water out of that sugary mixture, it's going to become more sugary. Okay, or like evaporating. So if you ever had, like, if you take salt water and sit it on the side and water evaporates, the salt stays. So it's becoming more concentrated. And then the solution outside will become less concentrated. But eventually it's not going to go all the way so that it's just more salty or sugary inside and less outside. But eventually we're going to get to this point where they are what's that word for number 7 that we're looking for? There's 2 words that could go there. I'm thinking of the larger, more vocabulary based one, but I'll take the shorter one. They both start with the same letter. And Mr. Shooter started looking like he was going to write it. So equilibrium. Thank you, Andrew, for showing up and giving me that answer. Exactly. Equilibrium. So they're going to eventually go until they reach equilibrium, till they're equal, till they're the same. And then you're going to have movement inside and outside of the cell. So again, like we said, this is kind of, you know what I mean, a little bit of a really good review as far as diagrams. So if you're given something on a test, on a Keystone exam, and there's a diagram and it looks like they're dealing with the movement of water, the first thing you want to do is start counting and looking at it and figuring out, all right, where is the net movement? Where do I see molecules moving? Which ones do I see moving? If there's no arrows, look at the key. Okay, I know most sugars and salts are too big and they can't go through, but water's going to move. So which way is water going to move? And use that to kind of help yourself to figure it out. And if there's no labels at all, remember that it's going to, unless they're being pumped, they're going to move from a higher concentration to a lower concentration.
So, and I was going to ask them right there on that, if we go back up, a cell could move sugar inside the cell. Obviously, there's some in there. And so to move sugar inside the cell, they would have to use probably a protein pump. So what would it need? What else would it need to move energy inside? So, or to move sugar inside, what else would it need to move this sugar molecule? If we were to take this sugar molecule and take it in the cell, what would we need to add?
Either through a protein or through endocytosis, they would both need this.
It's almost game time. Do you feel it, Mrs. Smith?
I feel it.
Feel it. I feel blue kid coming on.
Let me share
I
that
feel
screen.
blue kid coming on. I feel blue kid coming on.
And now Ricardo and Andrew are both here, so you know.
Hey, blue kid.
Nobody can tell me what it needs in order to move something across that's large across the membrane from a lower concentration to a higher. Like I am like.
Is it they can't tell you or they're not listening? Because they should be able to tell you.
Oh, is anybody else's sound not working? Uh-oh. I got energy. Well, that's good. What's it in the form of, Grace?
Grace says energy, and you all say, I say energy, you say. It's like a cheerleading event right now. Where are my cheerleaders at? I say energy, you say yes. Sit Lolly, you would need. Did you see what I did there, by the way? You would need a protein to do it, but the energy would be in the form of, yes, ATP. Cool. We ready for some blue kit?
Yeah, I think I share my screen.
We ready for some blue? Are you ready to blue kit? I don't know what's the matter with me. This week, I'm going nuts. Y'all need Miss Smith to come back right now and help me out a little bit, get me out of this crazy time. Blue kit, let's go. Blue kit.
I'm really hungry.
I am too. I'm dying.
You know what I'm thinking about right now?
What?
Pizza. The wood-fired oven pizza from the market.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And those horseradish pickles.
Oh.
But I haven't been to the
pickles could get me to the market.
I haven't been to the market. You know, it's been over a year since the market.
The egg rolls too. I mean, I could go for the egg rolls over there.
I'm a little bit terrified that I'm finally going to go back to the market and those places are going to be like shut down and gone. And there's this woman with cake that makes the best banana cake like ever in there.
You know, this is really good. The beef jerky they sell at the meat place, that Stony Point. Awesome.
I can't. A stick of meat. It's just.
It's not a stick of meat. It's not beef stick. It's the beef jerky. It's not a meat. No.
I don't eat dried meat or meat in casings or anything like that. If meat is in a casing, I do not eat it. If meat is dried, I do not eat it.
You're a chicken.
No.
You're a chicken pickle. No, the ramen that they do, the ramen. Yeah, well, the place that does the ramen, I think that. Well, did they do the? Is that the same place that does the egg rolls? Whatever. Grace is about to have McDonald's, and I'm really thinking that Chick-fil-A might sound all right today. I don't know. Anyway, are we ready? We got 17 people in, 19 people watching.
I don't have Chick-fil-A for a year either.
You can do curb pickup there.
Yeah. I just don't. Are we ready to go? So we got 17. How many do we have?
There's 19. I show 18 watching and 17 in. I'd say you can still join if you haven't joined. We're blue kidding. We've been waiting 2 weeks for this. We missed last week.
I know. People didn't come back after last week when we didn't get to play the game.
Yeah, most people we've had, and then the game wouldn't work.
Oh gosh, McDonald's. They're talking about McDonald's every day. I can't tell you the last year I've eaten McDonald's. I think it's been like 5 years. I think the last time I had McDonald's is when I was pregnant with Owen and I had a craving. And before that it was probably 4 more years. Like
every once in a while I'll break down and get McDonald's, but it always comes with a serious helping of McGilt afterwards. I really
McSickness.
McGilt.
Though, when I was their age in high school, I would eat like a double cheeseburger meal every day after tennis practice. So,
quarter pounder with cheese.
But like, it didn't. Oh, gross. I think it's because my mother wouldn't give it to me. So that when I started driving and taking myself home, I used to eat it.
We had different digestive tracts back then.
Oh. Who is Pickles? Are you Pickles?
Nope.
Do you remember Rugrats and Tommy Pickles? Like that's what I'm thinking of.
What was the image for a pickle?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Oh man, I'm hungry. What should I eat for lunch? I should have signed in and played today. I guess I still could. There's still 3 minutes.
Yeah, all you gotta do is steal somebody's
gold, and it doesn't matter. Like, right? That's what I'm saying.
Got a lot of gold, but I haven't been able to steal anybody's. Grace! Darn it, Grace.
Okay, that's funny. The first question was about low blood sugar.
Do you feel hungry?
Yes. See, I started later, and there we go.
I disagree with the answer to that question. That was a bad question.
Sure was.
It was. Shut it. It was. I want to steal from somebody. Hungry. Oh, you jerk. Hungry Pickles just stole from me.
I can't even read.
Thank you, Mandy.
Oh, lose 50%. That is baloney. Oh, Grace.
Grace doesn't take any prisoners. Man.
Oh, boo.
Is that it? Man.
Well, Andrew beat Ricardo today, but neither one of them won. So I'll take second and third out of my, like 5 people that are here. We got second and third. I mean,
look at Adam and Lisa's score though. Come on, 30,253 gold. I just took 10%, like 2 turns.
Yeah, I took 25%, I think, too. So that's great. Oh, good.
Oh my gosh,
well,
that's in that hurt. Sorry. Well, yeah, it's really I never had lost gold. I got gold every turn, but I never got anywhere. I only got like 2 where I could steal from other people. I wanted to steal from Grace, but I wasn't able to because she wasn't winning whenever I got the opportunity to steal. You got to steal from the people in the top. So anyway, hey, great job, everybody that played. Thank you for coming. We enjoy doing these for you. Can't tell you how much we enjoy doing these for you. So we hope you have a great weekend. Libby lost 50% of her gold. She always loses 50% of her gold. Look, Libby, your birthday was yesterday. All right, stop crying. You don't get to do it. You only get 1 day of good fortune.
All right, Suitor, stop talking. I'm hungry.
Are you hungry? What are you going to have to eat?
I don't know. Probably nothing good.
Grace said, "Oh my gosh, Mr. Suitor. I know. I'm just picking on you because you steal from me every time. It's like a little bandit." We should get her a mask like mine so she could look like a robber.
I gotta admit, I'm not looking forward to like having to wear a mask all day again.
Right.
Just gonna say.
All right. Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by. We will see you. I'll see you Monday in person if you're coming. Mrs. Smith will see you virtually. Bye. Have a good day. Going to eat her McDonald's. Enjoy. Later, guys.
Plastic fries.
Plastic fries.